Hey everybody, this is Andrew. Uh, what you're looking at here is my fairly new Lego City. This video is not so much about the Lego City. I really just wanted to uh, talk a little bit, I guess rant a little bit about some things, somewhat Lego related, Lego community related. So I ran into a lot lately where um, a lot of people on these Lego channels are effectively censoring people. They'll block you or put you in timeout temporarily if you're talking about certain things. And excuse me, for once, I think censorship is BS. And for two, I think it's very childish to be doing that. It's one thing if you want to just ignore what's being talked about in the chat and not verbally talk about it on your stream. Fine, that's your stream, that's your prerogative. But to treat people like kids is just bogus. I mean, that there's just no need for that. Um, that's effectively it's censorship, and it's just wrong. Um, Part of where it came from recently was attempting to talk about COVID. My thing is, I think we should be absolutely able to have discussions about things that are going on in the real world, especially when those are things that affect literally everybody, and they do. COVID literally is affecting everybody. Millions of people have gotten very sick with it. Hundreds of thousands have died. If you hear about COVID and automatically think, oh, well, that's politics, I don't want to talk politics, then you're the one with the problem. Because in fact, it's not political. Yes, a portion of people in this country on the right have made it political to further their own agenda. And that is because they refuse to accept science. But it's not inherently political. It's a virus, it's science, and it affects all of us, especially as Lego collectors. Well, I shouldn't say especially. I mean, it affects us as much as anybody. It affects us directly because, Lego sets for the last almost year have regularly been selling out and staying sold out. It's been hard to get stuff. You have to wait a while for it to come back in stock. The same thing happened for me with these tables. These are Ikea tables, and it took a while for them to come back in stock so that I could order them and go pick them up, because come to find out, part of it was there were some manufacturing issues over in Sweden where Ikea is located. But more than that, it was customs issues. There were so many things that were selling out, and companies had to manufacture so many things and ship them in all at the same time. Customs got backed up, and it took a long time for things to get back into the country to get to stores. And that's part of what I wanted to rant about. I'm sick of people just going out and buying up everything. Like, oh my god, we're in a pandemic, gotta fucking buy up everything. No, you don't. Chill the fuck out. The world's not falling apart completely. Companies are not folding. Things are not going to go out of stock permanently. You don't need to buy every roll of toilet paper in sight or anything else. Chill out. Buy what you normally buy. Because frankly, if you're going to buying up everything, you're a greedy a-hole and you're taking from other people. You should buy only what you need so there's enough for everybody. I heard people in the Lego community complain about Lego and other stores putting limits on how many sets you can buy. And I think it's just ridiculous. I'm not going to call out anybody specific in the community. I don't think that's right, but you know who you are, and it's ridiculous to complain about it. Why do you think you have the right to go and buy everything up so that nobody else can buy anything? That's not right. It is absolutely sensible and right for companies to put limits in place so that everybody can have a chance to buy, a Lego set or a package of toilet paper or tables or whatever it is that you're wanting to buy. One person doesn't need to buy up everything. That's just wrong. That should not happen. But that's why, we're having trouble with things being out of stock and it taking a while to get the sets you want to get. The two modulars I want to get, the police station and Assembly Square, are still out of stock on Lego.com. You still can't find them directly through Amazon or really any other retailer. I did find out the police station's been in stock at my local Lego store. The Assembly Square came back in stock this week. I don't know if it's going to hang on until Saturday or not. I'm hoping that it will, because I want to go in Saturday so I can get those Amelia Earhart promos along with those modulars. So we'll see if that works out. But this is just, part of the problem with people's mentality of wanting to buy up everything. It's just so selfish and it's so unnecessary. But anyway, where I got to this was I wanted to complain about the people in the community timing people out or blocking people because of what they're talking about. It's wrong. It's childish. Get over yourselves. We're almost all grown-ups here. I follow only other adults on Lego, and it's almost exclusively adults are going to be watching your channels. Unless, you're like Brickatech and you have a little kid, then you may have kids tuning in as well. But aside from that, it's going to be mostly adults, if not all adults. So let's act like adults. And, like I said, I think that we should be able to talk about things that are affecting all of us, like COVID, like politics. Politics affects everybody nearly on a daily basis. It's one of the most important things in our lives. I love Lego. It's a great hobby. It's fun. It's interesting. It's therapeutic. But it's not as important as this pandemic or politics or even climate change. We should be able to talk about climate change as well. It's real. And it's getting more serious because we have a political party that refuses to accept the science and do anything about it. So, we're stuck with, fighting about it and going back and forth in elections, trying to get the right people in office to actually address it. But it is important. We're not going to be able to continue to enjoy Lego beyond maybe another couple of decades or anything else for that matter if we don't do something about it. It is real. It is serious. And not only that, but you want to talk about something even more serious and pertinent in our world right now. There are state governments that are actively trying to take away our voting rights. Republicans claiming that this is an attempt to prevent more fraudulent elections like we had last year. First of all, it's an outright lie. Last year's election was not fraudulent. It was actually above board for a change, because the fact that the 2016 election was fraudulent and there was Russian interference that was found. It was found that they interfered and messed with some voting machines in order to help the last president get elected. That was real. But of course, we couldn't have anybody that had the courage to actually do anything about it. So he stayed in office. And his last election was actually mostly clean because there were enough people in power that cared enough to try to prevent that from happening again. So to respond to that and try to take away our voting rights more, it doesn't fix anything. It doesn't prevent further foreign interference in our elections. And it's actually unconstitutional and unpatriotic to take away our voting rights. If you haven't heard, a lot of states are wanting to crack down on mail-in voting and all different things because they keep talking about how they think there's voter fraud. It's make-believe. It's make-believe to further a Republican agenda. There's next to no cases of voter fraud that have actually been found. Why? Because people don't want to freaking go and vote. It's not fun. We don't like it. We do it because it's our patriotic duty. But nobody's going to go out of their way to vote fraudulently because nobody wants to vote in the first freaking place. We do it because it's our duty. So it's really stupid. And like I said, it's unconstitutional to try to take away our access and our rights to vote and make it harder to vote. And nobody should be in support of it. And everybody should be speaking out against it. Unfortunately, my home state of Missouri is one of the states that's been talking about that. Furthermore, I want to rant a little bit more about this whole COVID thing, despite what some idiots are saying. No, we're not starting to come out of the pandemic, not even close. The experts that know what they're talking about, like Fauci, are even saying it's going to be well in the next year, most likely. At least late this year, most likely next year, before, that's my cat, before we actually come out of this pandemic. It's not going away anytime soon. And it's reckless and dangerous to fully reopen states like Texas and Mississippi and Florida are doing as though nothing's happening. Just, let people pack into restaurants and events again with no masks. And let's just see how fast it starts spreading again, you idiots. And the stupid part about it is I heard specifically with Texas, they're one of the states that have seen an uptick in cases and deaths recently. Yet their governor still thinks it's a good idea to do this. Because, we have vaccines now. People are getting vaccinated. Yeah, very few people are getting vaccinated. The elderly, the most vulnerable, essential workers, a small percentage of the population has been vaccinated. We are not even close to the point of this being a good idea. And I urge people, in spite of what these morons are doing, continue to wear masks, continue to social distance. Be smart, protect yourselves, protect the people around you. Ignore the idiots. Don't just go along with the flow. I mean, it's kind of like, the old saying that you wouldn't jump off a cliff if everybody else was doing it. So don't just not wear a mask because everybody else is doing it. That's stupidity. We need to continue to protect ourselves. Anyway, I just wanted to rant about this real quick and just say that, we should be able to talk about this real world stuff in the community. And especially when these so-called Lego streams are not really just Lego streams anyway. Half the time these people aren't building anyway or just talking about Lego. They're talking about random stuff, some of which doesn't really even matter. Even if it's something you're interested in or is entertaining to you, why can't we talk about real world stuff instead? This doesn't make any sense to me. So, I don't know when or if I'll do any live streams, but I'm certainly not going to block anybody's comments or delete any comments on my channel. You can say whatever you want. You can share your opinions. I encourage it. I love for people to like this video if you like what you've seen. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff. And feel free to comment on my channel and share your opinions, whatever they are, no matter which side you're on. I may respond to you, but I'm certainly not going to censor you or block your comments. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye for now.